What's up, Taiwan? I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced he's slapping Canada, Mexico, and China with tariffs, marking the beginning of a new trade war.
Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods.
A trade war is brewing in North America. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announces he's retaliating against recently announced U.S. trade measures. On Saturday, U.S. President Donald Trump ordered tariffs against Mexico, Canada, and China. He says it's in response to the flow of deadly synthetic painkiller fentanyl into the U.S. from Mexico and Canada, with China as a supplier.
The president will be implementing tomorrow a 25% tariffs on Mexico, 25% tariffs on Canada, and a 10% tariff on China for the illegal fentanyl that they have sourced and allowed to distribute into our country.
Tariffs are taxes that importers must pay to bring in foreign goods, meaning American businesses will pay more to bring in products from targeted countries. These additional costs are often passed on to the consumer, resulting in higher prices, or businesses take the brunt at the expense of their profits. Trump is using tariffs to gain leverage over Canada, Mexico, and China. Trudeau says he's working with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, who's also said Mexico will retaliate against Trump's orders with tariff and non-tariff measures to protect Mexican interests, a move labor unions hope will be enough.
Esperemos que el gobierno mexicano, la presidente Claudia Sheinbaum, logre hacer una negociación pues que sea benéfica para ambos países, ya que el llevar a cabo esta estrategia de los aranceles pues pudiera generar al menos una desaceleración económica y en el peor de los casos hasta una recesión.
Meanwhile, China's embassy in Washington says there are no winners in a trade war. Trump has fired the first shot in this trade war, and both Canada and Mexico have responded in kind. With hundreds of billions of dollars worth of trade on the line, the North American economy now hangs in the balance. Devin Tsai and Liao for TaiwanPlus. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has arrived in Panama on his first official trip as the U.S.'s top diplomat. Rubio will meet with Panamanian President Jose Raul Mulino to discuss U.S. President Donald Trump's demands to take control of the Panama Canal. Protesters opposed to Trump's plan clashed with police in the Central American country's capital ahead of the meeting. Rubio is also set to visit several other Central American and Caribbean countries where he's expected to discuss the Trump administration's plans to repatriate migrants. 3 more Israeli hostages and dozens of Palestinian prisoners have been released as part of a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. But as Louise Watt now reports, the relief felt by one newly freed father is bittersweet.
After 15 months in captivity in Gaza, Argentinian-Israeli Yarden Bibas is reunited with his parents. But it's a bittersweet celebration for the 35-year-old. He has been released without his wife and 2 young sons, who were kidnapped by Hamas alongside him. Hamas has said the 3 were killed in an Israeli airstrike, but Israel has not confirmed that.
ירדן שב הביתה. אך רעייתו שירי וילדיו אריאל וכפיר טרם שבו. אנחנו מחפשים אותם כבר תקופה ארוכה. מתחקים אחר עקבותיהם וחוקרים את שעלה בגורלם.
Before he was taken, Kafir, just 9 months old, the youngest of the roughly 250 people taken by Hamas fighters on October the 7th, 2023. The attack sparked a war that has killed more than 47,000 Palestinians, according to Gaza health authorities. Now there's a ceasefire in place between Israel and Hamas. As part of that deal, prisoner and hostage exchanges. In the latest, Hamas freed Bibas and 2 other male hostages. and Israel released more than 180 Palestinian prisoners. As the hostage and prisoner exchanges continue, Israelis call for the release of all the hostages. More than 70 remain in Gaza, around half of them presumed dead, according to Israel. Some families are worried the ceasefire will not hold because of political factors.
We, the families waiting for our loved ones to be released in the next phases, are very concerned. We turn and address US President Donald Trump. Mr. President, sir, we are deeply concerned that the extremists in the coalition and Netanyahu are attempting to sabotage the deal.
With each hostage who comes home, a reminder of those who haven't, and of the long road ahead to end this war for good. James Lin and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
Here in Taiwan, the Lunar New Year holiday is wrapping up. It's a time for food and family, but it's also when people pray for fortune and good luck for the year ahead. Our reporters Tiffany Wong and Reese Ayers traveled to a well-known temple in central Taiwan to ask for cash blessings from Taiwan's most prosperous deity.
Tiffany, 恭喜发财.
Hey Reese, Happy New Year.
I found out recently that this phrase, 恭喜发财, doesn't literally mean Happy New Year, but instead it means I hope you get rich.
I mean, everyone dreams of having financial stability and even more cash if you can get it. But I heard in Taiwan there's a tradition where you can actually ask a god for more money.
That's right, and a lot of Taiwanese people make an annual pilgrimage to this temple here in central Taiwan to ask the gods for an actual money loan, which they'll use as an investment in the coming year. And those loans can be up to 600 Taiwanese dollars, which is about 18 US dollars.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. Why don't we go try it?
Let's go. This relatively small and unassuming temple in central Taiwan may not look extraordinary, but Zinan Temple has a big reputation. Every year, hundreds of thousands of people visit, seeking prosperity for the year ahead, especially around Lunar New Year.
But before we ask the deity for a loan ourselves, we'll chat with the temple's leadership to learn about this site's more than 2 centuries of history.
那时候的银行比较少。 你一般人要借钱不容易，那是真的。我们是跟土地公借钱了，真的是要用的。比方说你要看医师了，看医生，还是说你要去上学。
At that time, people could borrow 6,000 Taiwan dollars. That's around 180 American dollars at today's rate. And they seemed to make good returns on the money they were lent, returning the next year to pay back the loan plus interest as thanks to the land god.
后来就是大概30几年前，外面的人看我们好像我们这边出去的做同样生意都赚很多钱，生意特别好。问他说你为什么卖一样东西为什么会赚那么多钱？生意特别好，他就说他是用土地公的钱。
News of the land god's prosperous loans spread far and wide, and today, for many, a visit to Zinan Temple has become an annual tradition, with some borrowers repaying their loans with a lot of interest.
有一个年轻人哈，他借400块而已，他还了将近300万。
It must have been a prosperous year for that guy. And now that we've learned the history of Zinan Temple, it's time for Tiffany and me to get our loans. So the first step, Tiffany, is to grab some xiang or incense, which are here in this bucket on the side. And you're supposed to donate a little bit of money to help the temple out as well. So there are 6 incense sticks there for you and 6 for me. Let's go and pray to the gods.
So now that we've got these 6 incense sticks, what do we do with them?
Well, we're here outside the temple now, and we're going to bye-bye, which means to pray 3 times, and then we'll take 3 of our incense sticks and stick them into the burner. So let's bye-bye first.
We then took the other 3 incense sticks to another burner and repeated the ritual, this time praying inward towards the temple god.
Well, now that our incense are burning outside the temple, we're inside and we're about to ask the local god for that loan.
But how exactly do you communicate with a god?
Well, we use something called buabwe or moon blocks, which are divination blocks. You pick up a pair of those moon-shaped blocks, you hold them in your hand, you tell the god your name, your address, and what your wish is, and you drop those blocks to the ground. Now, how those blocks land dictates the answer the god has given.
I think I've seen those blocks in temples before, but I forget, how do you know when the god is saying yes or no?
Well, it depends how the blocks land. If they're both laying face up, that's a no. If they're both laying face down, that's also a no, or it means you need to rephrase your question. But if one is face up and one is face down, then you've got a positive response and you can go ahead and get your loan.
Let's try it.
Let's go. First time.
And just like any other loan, you need to provide some personal details so that the temple can keep a record. After all, you need to pay back the loan within 12 months, and usually with a little interest based on how prosperous your year was.
Well, now that we've got our loan, what do you think we should do with it?
That's a good question. Everyone has their own way of either keeping or investing this money to make sure that you maximize the profits for the coming year. Why don't we go and ask some temple goers what they think is the best way to deal with this cash?
That sounds like a good idea.
我就放在银行，存在银行里面，听说很灵，但是我觉得很灵。
放在家里面，我说都是每年来借，然后每年就是一直放着。 对对对，就累积，我不会去用它啦。
我会放在我公司的户头里面，对，当做发财金使用这样子。
I like their suggestions, but is there any way we can see a more immediate return on this investment?
I think I have an idea. Come with me. Conveniently situated just outside the temple are these street vendors selling gua le, or scratch cards.
But isn't gambling illegal in Taiwan?
It is, but this is one of the few legal forms of gambling. It's actually a government-run initiative, and all of the profits from the scratch cards go to social welfare programs and also to healthcare.
Well, even if we lose them, that seems like a good cause. Let's try it out.
Let's go.
老板你好，我们要2张500的。
没有。
It's gonna be here. It's gonna be here.
After scratching away at our cards, with a little help from the vendor, Tiffany turned her $500 into $200, and me, amigo, $100. A net loss for both of us, but we claimed our winnings nonetheless. Oh, $200. Oh, no luck this year with the scratch cards, but at least we did get some money back that we can use as a keepsake or a memento to bring us luck in the coming year.
That's right. And we can't forget to pay back the loan to the temple by the end of the year.
That's right. And while Gongxi Fa Cai may literally mean I hope you get rich, actually it's just a nice way of saying Happy New Year. So Happy New Year, Tiffany.
Thank you, Reese. And from all of us at TaiwanPlus, we wish you a Happy New Year. Gongxi Fa Cai.
Gongxi Fa Cai. Justin Wu.
Ryan Wu.
Reese Ez.
And Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, check out Panda Meng Meng and her cubs, Lenny and Lottie, having lunch together at the Berlin Zoo. I'm Leslie Liao. Take care and wishing you a happy year of the snake.
Oh, and you two, come. I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Oh.
May the year of the snake inspire new beginning,
Bringing you transformation, peace, prosperity,
health, wealth, and all things wonderful.
Wishing you a healthy and prosperous year of the snake.
Happy Lunar New Year.
Bringing in the new year with rattle and charm. Taiwan Plus.